2-litre classes. We'll give you 4 in there as they head out in their warm-up lap here. And Adam Ubergang once again grabs pole position with a blistering 118.417.
Turn it up. Okay. Does this one work too? Hello, hello, hello. Oh, yes.
They got married early, never had no money. Then when he
Front row, Barry Smith, the Darwin Automobile Care entry, the Holden Commodore, will start out of position number 3. Adrian Kroonsteiver starts out of 4. Jason Wilson, the West Aussie, is back for JP Pallets out of 5th position. The South Aussie, Andrew Maros, in the Chrysler, will be out there in position number 6, the MGS Auctioneers sponsored car. Then we go back to Stephen Ling in the Aussie NASCAR Tours Holden V8's Commodore, the first of the Commodore Cup cars. He'll start on the next row there in position 7 alongside the next. The South Aussies, Ian Statham, has been around for many, many years in production car style racing and now comes to the tour at the top end. Spends a lot of his time racing at Malala in South Australia, but up here this weekend racing in the Northern Territory. And really a lot of South Aussie influence up this part of the world for this event. A lot of people that support the Clipsal 500, a lot of our volunteer officials and staff and people right behind the scenes here to make this event work all come from that part of the world. It is really a national event these days, and it's great to have everybody from right around Australia who support the Sky City Triple Crown. Been going since 1998 here in Darwin. Out of 9th position, we see the next of the Commodore Cup cars. That's David Ling will start in position 9, car number 14. James Pocock will be the next car in the Suzuki Swift. Starts out of position 10. Then Craig Wright out of position 11 in the Ford Escort, the first of the under 2-litre cars in the field. He went with 1 minute 24.20. Then we go back to Peter Casato, the Queenslander. Will start out of position 12 in car number 60, the Fox Finance and Leasing car. Next row, position 13. This is row 7. We'll see Michael Halkitis, part of the Halkitis brothers up here that race in sprint cars during the summertime. Value Travel on board that car this weekend. Then Alan Langworthy in the next to the Commodore Cup. In fact, a whole gaggle of Commodore Cup cars here. He will start out of position 14 in the Petters entry. Ian Roots and Stephen Johnstone on the next row. Then we go back to Wayne Crystal. Carla Kopenko in the Auto Smart Ford Escort will be on the next row in position number 18. Simon Bullash out of 19. Then we go back to Clayton Otley in 20th. Out of 21st position, we see Rodney Jessup. Tim Riley will start out of 22nd. Ebony Coates starts out of position 23. Then we go to Anthony Henwood in car 24. Next row sees John Newman in position number 25. Warren Trewin will start out of position number 26. Then Marion Banowski starts out of position 27. Gary Pendlebury starts out of 28 alongside him. And then the next row we see Jason Brooker in car number 29. Scott Cameron starts out of position 30. Jamie Thurnes out of position 31. Stav Mostras will start out of 32nd. This is all the HQs that are further down the field. Then we see Peter Anderson. Caroline Pendlebury makes an appearance this weekend in the second of the Smart NT entries. Then we go back to Olivia Agostini, Bruce Panting and Gavin Thompson will start at the back of the field. Both those cars not getting a lap in the books yesterday as we see the Kroonsteiver car coming down to pit lane exit. Well, he was starting out of position 4. We look across the track to the 78 of Tim Playford on your PRG super screens right now. The distance for this race coming up around today of 8 laps. This is the local classes up here all combined into one. They race during what would be our winter time down south, and each year there's more and more cars. The recently held HQ Nationals sees a lot of interstate drivers that stuck around, left their cars up here for an extra few weeks to play in the sun one more time before heading back down south. So expect the front guys to start lapping within probably 2 or 3 laps of this one. Adam Ubergang has had a lot of success over here in the years. Expect big things for him. Jason Wilson is another one to keep an eye out also. Adrian Kroonsteiver, who will start from pit lane, so watch for him down here. The Blast Corp number 51 was scheduled to start out of 4. The Mazda RX-3 will now start from pit lane, so he's got a lot of work to do to get through the remaining 37 cars. You'll see the grid spot on the screen come up in a moment of where he was scheduled to start. We pan across the field. Just waiting for the flag at the back. They don't get the warm-up lap. They've been out there for their formation lap from the lanes already. Second race of the day will come up for them today at about 12 o'clock before our top 10 shootout in the V8 supercars. Red lights on, set for a start. First race week of the weekend for Shannon's. The Improved Production Commodore Cup and HQs is underway here. And Kroonstaver sitting here in the lane, waiting as the field roars on down this 1.1k main straight on this, the first lap. Looks like Andrew Maros was trying some big things there in the Chrysler. Going into turn one, this is where we hold our breath and make sure everyone gets through in the first lap. But Ubergang gets the early charge. That is the Chrysler. The Pacer is out there up to second of Andrew Maros, the South Australian. Great start for him. He come back from position 6 and now up to second as they go across the flip-flop and down to turn 5, or Clubhouse Corner as it's known as during the regular racing season. But Ubergang starting to stretch the legs already of the Mazda 808 as they head down to turn 6 on lap number 1. Some big battles happening through the field off screen at the moment down into turn 5. But this is the front group of cars, and you can see already Maros starting to stack the field up behind as they sweep through downhill section here of turn 7. Go back through the field. There's the 14 of David Ling going through. James Pocock puts a little Suzuki Swift down the inside of one of the escorts as now this battle intensifies. It's only the opening lap, but it's only 8 laps, remember, too. Jason Wilson also in there, the West Aussie for JP Pallets, trying to make his way through on this first lap as the field settles down and they come back onto the main straightaway. And out in front, the pole man, and now your race leader, Adam Ubergang, the Queenslander, spreads across the finish line, reels off a 1:26.50 standing lap. Maros in second, then it's Smith, Playford as we see the 98 machine pulling up on the side of the track there. One of the boots coming up here now on screen on one of the HQs. That's not going to help the aerodynamics of that car. They're not that quick on the straights as it is. As we go back into turn 1. Lap number 2, Barry Smith under attack now in the VP Commodore as they go through by the West Aussie of Jason Wilson. Down to turn 5 they go once again. Playford is ahead of them. You can see him just grab the front brake as he went down that short change of direction. Now down into the slowest point of this Hidden Valley Raceway complex. Left-hander. There is Wilson in the black, purple and yellow JP Pallets entry. Sweeps it down to turn 7. Great job, I've got to say, from the Pacer. Come from 6 up to second. Let's hope it stays up there for all the Mopar fans that are enjoying the racing here today. So go to the heavily populated section of the circuit, and one of the most enjoyable parts of the track for the drivers. This downhill section, the TV doesn't show how far the track drops away from this point. As back into the final turn they go once again. This will be the end of lap number 2, and look at the gap. The leader has got already. It was 3.9 seconds. It's going to be a lot more than that now as Ubergang goes past. We wait for Maros. He crossed the line now. The gap is 4.5 seconds. Playford is third, Smith in fourth. Then Wilson, the 2 Lings, Stephen ahead of David Ling. Then Wright, Pocock and Casato in 10th position. Adrian Kroonstaver, who started at the back, is up to 19th position. So he's made up a ton of places after starting from pit lane. Wilson goes off the track there. That car understeered on the exit and now kicks up a lot of dust for the rest of the field behind him as they make that flip-flop approach and the run down as the Commodore gets all sorts of sideways coming across there on the braking approach to turn number 5 here. Lap 3, the Shannon's Improved Production Commodore Cup and HQ's first race of the weekend here as part of the Sky City Triple Crown for 2013. Maros gets the Pacer a little bit out of shape there, and now Playford sitting right on the back of him here. Playford in the Mazda RX-3, qualified from number 2, sits in 3rd position at the moment, and now he starts to feel pressure from Smith in the Commodore behind him now. So great battle pack here for 2nd, 3rd and 4th on the PRG super screens right now. The left-hander out of the slalom and back onto the main straight. Ubergang went 118.97 that last time around, and he settled down to a pace 119.4 that last time around. His qualifying time 118.41 as the pass now from Smith makes the pass down the main straight here. It's a drag race parallel to the official drag strip they've got here at Hidden Valley Raceway, and it should be enough for a pass on the inside and gets the job done as we go back to Ubergang exiting turn 1 and 2 and the run down to the flip-flop to turn 5. Clubhouse Corner, lap number 4 of 8. Time is ticking by very quickly here in this opening race. Here comes that battle pack for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So Playford drops back behind the 2nd and 3rd guys here of Maros, the South Australian out there for MGS auctioneers and valuers. But again, the Commodore closing in. So Smith has the pace of these guys at the front at the moment. I don't think they catch Ubergang here, even though it's only half race distance, unless something mechanical goes wrong with a little Mazda. Pocock locks the brake there. The 86, the Suzuki Swift. And that's further back in the field there too. In fact, he sits in position 9. The gap's 7.7 seconds now for your leader. We're watching Pocock here battling with Casato here. They go across the back section, down the slalom, and he locks the brake again. Casato puts the car to the inside here. Door slams. And Pocock driving defensively here. He'll pull the car to the inside of the straight here. David Ling now on screen in the Commodore Cup. He is the class leader. Sorry, Steve Ling is the class leader, and he's about 6 seconds up the road, and still that boot is up on the 71 machine of Trewin as they go through the back section. This is the HQ battles. That's how far behind they are already. You'll start to see the leader coming up to lap one of them already, and he's on lap 5. The HQ still on lap 4. And race control will keep an eye on the 71 car here. I'm surprised it's been doing this for a couple of laps now that they've allowed it to stay out. But he continues on with the race. Here's Maros. This battle now is 4 cars. They come through turn 7. Wilson puts the JP Pallets entry to the inside, and the door is shut clean in his face. Maros continuing to hold this field after that perler of a start. You've got to say, from 6th position up to 2nd, and doing a fine job here right now, but he is feeling some pretty big pressure at the moment as Wilson to the inside of Smith. This will be a drag race down the main straight now. And watch the guy behind him here, Playford in the 78 machine after stunning from 2nd, seen in 5th position, tries to get in the slipstream of the Western Australians Commodore. He pulls out to pass Smith. He's got past him, but it's going to be the braking duel. There's lap traffic coming up as well. Maros down the inside of one of the HQs, and now Wilson dives, takes Smith and Playford with him. That's well done by the HQs, moving aside to let the quicker guys through. Lap 6 of 8 here. Shannon's presents the improved production Commodore Cup and HQs here. Motorsports NT, I'm sure Grant Hammond will be very impressed of what he's seen here this weekend. The local classes turning it on here in front of the main stage at Darwin's Hidden Valley Raceway on day 2. The Sky City Triple Crown. Maros had a big moment there going through turn 5 where the track drops away on the approach and the exit. More lap traffic ahead here now. Ubergang is out of here. The gap almost 10 seconds back to this battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Past Stav Mostras they go in the 21. And the battle continues. I like the odds on Wilson here as he gets out of shape. Give a guy a wrap and he almost loops the car. Run down to the final turn here. 2 remaining for the leader as he goes across the finish line now to reel off lap number 6. Big licorice straps off the back of the Pacer as they come onto the main straight. So are the tyres starting to get a little too hot on these cars? Wilson drops behind Smith here, so he lost a bit of gap there. Look at all this traffic ahead now. Wilson back down the inside of Smith. And they go past, or trying to go past this fleet of HQs on lap number 7 here. 1 remaining at the end of this. And looks like the Thompson machine, and he's down in 4th position. He has dominated the HQ class here for many, many years in the local class support act. They go down to turn 5 once again. Closing stages of this one. They'll be back out again at 12 o'clock this afternoon. Maros doing a good job. Playford waiting at the back of this group to see what will happen. 1.5 laps remaining. Ubergang should be coming back towards the main straight any time now. The battle of the 2 Holdens. Wilson down the inside again, moves up. This has been a great battle virtually since lap number 2. The left-hand approach, they drop down through the slalom and it'll be 1 lap to go. Here comes the leader. 1 remaining now. Ubergang, 1 minute 20 is backed right off. The gap was 12 seconds. It'll be about 15, you'd think, this time by. Maros, Wilson, Smith and Playford now coming to the start-finish line. They start their last lap. Look at this traffic. Maros, where do I go, he says. These guys are having their own battle. There should be some wave flags going on. There's that car with the boot up. It's all happening here on the last lap. 3 wide into turn 1. And no one has touched anyone yet. This is great racing. Maros, this is very well driven by the pacer, doing a good job to negotiate lap traffic when he's got 2 guys behind him who've been pressured him since the beginning. Through turn 5 for the final time. A couple of the Commodore Cup cars that pulled off earlier in the race. But here comes your race leader. Game on the front of the car here, and he's going to just win this game. It's going to be changed to game over, you'd think, with 1 turn remaining. He started from pole position once again with a 118.4 and is going to win this race. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the Shannon's Improved Production Commodore Cup and HQ's race number 1, Adam Ubergang, coming to the finish line and does it from start to finish, doesn't he? And knocks off a 120.02 on the final lap. Here's this battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Maros has been there since the beginning. He started from 6, trying to hold down 2nd. I think Wilson wants to argue with this as they come down the straight. It's a drag race now to the finish. Maros will get 2nd. Wilson will get 3rd. Smith will get 4th. Playford will get 5th at the finish line there. Those guys covered by 7/10 of a second at the finish line. Behind them was Stephen Ling in 6th spot. David Ling was 7th. How about this drive? Adrian Kroonsteiver from pit lane made up to 8th position in the end. Casato got past Pocock in the closing stages. We're watching further back here. This is Bulash and Karpenko now on screen, battling for the 12th and 13th positions. They're coming onto the straight now. The HQs are on their final lap also. They're about to lap one of them coming to the finish line right now. So Bulash will get 12th, Karpenko will get 13th, Otley finishes in 14th. Then Johnstone, Riley, Ebony Coates, Jessup in 18th, Newman in 19th, Henwood in 20th. Furness is the leader in the HQ class here. The winner of Commodore Cup will go to Ling, and the under 2 litre class will go to Casato. That was the battle between him and Pocock on the very last lap there. Well done. Give them a round of applause as they come around on the cool-down lap. There is your winner on the PRG Super Screens right now. Adam Ubergang, the Queenslander, wins here in race number 1, the Shannon's Improved Production Commodore Cup and HQ's. Big round of applause, folks. He comes past you on the backside of Hidden Valley. Good drive to him. It was a domination from the beginning. 17 seconds clear down the road from Maros. Wilson in 3rd, Smith in 4th, then Playford, Ling, Stephen Ling, David Ling, Kroonsteiver, Casato and Pocock. That's the top 10. Shannon's presenting the local class here. They'll be back out this afternoon at 12 o'clock. There's still plenty of racing to come here this afternoon. Lots of qualifying to come. We've got the Touring Car Masters session to come up. Victor Bray, legendary drag racer Victor Bray, will be out soon. Also in here, Sid Chrome 57 Chef for some demonstrations. Matt Mingay and the crew are also here. The Kids Zone is open also now down in the paddock here. Plenty of merchandise. There's plenty to see and do here on day 2 of Sky City Triple Crown. We'll take a break and come back soon on Hidden Valley TV.
That's the Sumo Salad Guarantee. Enter now for your chance to be a part of the Wednesday Workplace Walk-In on Mix 104.9.
Harvey Norman massive half-yearly clearance. Up to 50% off all cooking appliances. Superseded, X-Display and overstocks must clear. Up to 50% off. Harvey Norman massive half-yearly clearance. Up to 50% off. Discontinued and X-Display automatic coffee machines. Limited stocks, so hurry. Shop in store and online. With 24 months, no deposit, no interest, no repayments until May 2015. Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance on now.